Breaking news for you this afternoon. Fargo police are investigating several suspicious incidents in the 13th Avenue corridor. 6 of them have happened in the last 11 days. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley has been following this story from the beginning. She joins us live now from the police department with the latest. Bailey.
Stacey, of those 6 incidents, we know the details of 3 of them. I was the first and only reporter to tell you about an incident at Barnes & Noble as well as another one at the Fargo Target, both on January 28th. The first was when a woman says that she and her kids were followed around the bookstore by a group of 5 men and a woman and eventually had to be escorted out by an employee. The other, a woman says she was at the baby aisle at Target when a man came up to her and started asking her uncomfortable questions about her husband, including how much money he made as well as if he was a good dad, before grabbing her hand. Now, Stacey, the latest incident happened on Friday night at the Red Lobster when a female victim says she was walking out to her car. A man grabbed her arm and then stood behind her vehicle trying to prevent her from backing out of her parking spot. Fargo police say of the 6 incidents, 3 of them seem to be connected to one individual. Fargo police say that individual is known to the department and is known to go up to people and say uncomfortable things. Fargo police urge you, if something similar happens to you, to call them immediately. They say there's absolutely no call too small for them to start looking into. Live in Fargo tonight, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Bailey, thanks so much. And coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we'll have an exclusive story with the latest victim from Friday's incident at Red Lobster. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. A busy street in downtown Fargo will be closed for the rest of the day. A water main burst this morning, sending crews scrambling to repair it in sub-zero temps. A passerby noticed a large amount of water pooling in an area near 301 NP Avenue around 5 a.m. NP Avenue is still closed to westbound traffic between 3rd Street and 4th Street North. It's expected to be open by the end of the day. Traffic is detouring to 1st Avenue North. A logger is recovering after falling through the ice and getting trapped over the weekend. The Hubbard County Sheriff's Office says Roy Davis was working in Lake Hattie Township on Saturday when his equipment fell through a frozen area of a swamp. He was trapped inside the machine for some time. Another worker used an excavator to dig around the machine to free him. A deputy put him on a snowmobile so he could get to an ambulance. He was then flown to Essentia Hospital in Fargo to be treated for possible hypothermia. Within the next couple of hours, West Fargo School Board is expected to accept the resignation of a teacher who's being investigated by police. A warrant was served on Ron Thompson, who resigned his high school teaching posts at West Fargo and Cheyenne over the weekend. Principals from both schools emailed staff saying if Thompson reaches out to any staff or students to contact administration immediately. Look for live coverage on tonight's action by board members on Valley News Live at 6. An Arctic blast settled into the Red River Valley, bringing temperatures well below 0. But just how low will we go? Let's check in with Hutch for a first look at our forecast.
Thanks, Stacey. As we begin our new work week, we have some cold weather to contend with. This morning was extremely cold. Air temperatures between 20 below in Fargo to 33 below in Rolla. Just brutal cold out there, and then you factor in the wind, and I want to point this out. Take a look at this. This is from the current readings of wind chill values this afternoon. We're at 40 below in Langdon. That's where the things have remained the iciest. But this morning at 6:15 a.m., Langdon approached a 60 below wind chill factor. So dangerous cold does continue. We do have a wind chill warning for our northern counties. That continues Highway 200 and points north into tomorrow. This cold air is set to stay for some time, Stacey, as we go through the next few days. So temperatures in Fargo will dip into the teens below by bedtime tonight, and enough of a wind to make those wind chills continue to feel quite brutal. It's going to be a long stretch of weather. I'll tell you who has a chance. I'm saying there's a chance that somebody sees warmer than 0 tomorrow. I'll have details in a minute.
Our chance is better than nothing. Thanks,
right.
Hutch. Minnesotans will be able to get their COVID-19 vaccine through pharmacies soon. Walmart, Walgreens, and Thrifty White are working with the state to administer the shots. Governor Walz says Minnesotans will be able to get their shot through these companies starting next week. Appointments will become available in the coming days. If you've already signed up for the wait list, the state should let you know about all vaccine opportunities in your area. All True is reminding people in Grand Forks not to share registration links for their vaccine appointments. The hospital says 360 appointments were canceled because the people who booked them didn't meet the criteria for Phase 1B. They say no vaccine doses have gone to waste, but when you book appointments out of turn, you're wasting healthcare workers' time and taking up slots meant for some of the most vulnerable people in our communities. All True's vaccination appointments are only being scheduled through their wait list. They'll contact you directly when it's your turn. To get on the wait list, call the number on your screen, but only if you're 75 and over or 65 to 74 with specific high-risk medical conditions. Essentia Health is offering a new treatment for some COVID patients. If you're diagnosed with mild to moderate COVID-19 and are high risk for severe complications and hospitalizations, you could receive a new monoclonal antibody treatment that has just been authorized for emergency use by the FDA. It should be given as soon as possible to be most effective, but can be given up to 10 days after your symptoms start. There is a limited supply, so it's being allocated by federal and state agencies. You have to meet the FDA's criteria in order to receive it. Essentia is also relaxing their visitor restrictions. Starting tomorrow, one adult visitor will be allowed per patient per day in all clinics and hospitals. There's some leeway for kids in the hospital. Pediatric patients can have 2 caregivers visit each day. In birthing centers, 1 adult visitor is allowed. That's in addition to the other parent of the child. No visitors are allowed for adult COVID patients except for end-of-life situations. Essentia says in those circumstances, additional visitors will be admitted at the discretion of hospital leadership. Congressional negotiators began work today on hammering out the details of what exactly will be in the final version of the American Rescue Plan, President Biden's coronavirus relief package. Deborah Alfarone has details from the White House.
President Biden is calling on Congress to pass his $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package as quickly as possible, tweeting, "We don't have a second to waste when it comes to delivering the American people the relief they desperately need."
Hopefully in a 2-week period of time, we'll send something over to the Senate, and this will be done long before the due date of the expiration of so many initiatives.
President Biden told CBS News' Norah O'Donnell that he's going to stand firm on providing stimulus checks to most Americans.
You've said you're not compromising on the $1,400 checks.
No.
He did say he was willing to negotiate on who is eligible to receive the checks, as well as holding off on the $15 an hour minimum wage bill. But he is not flexible about the $400 a week unemployment benefits for the next 6 months. The White House says passing the bill will not only provide benefits for the unemployed, but jobs as well.
I would expect that if this package is passed, that we would get back to full employment next year.
President Biden says he still believes he'll win some bipartisan support from congressional Republicans, but they say White House calls for unity are just lip service.
The administration is showing very clearly they don't care if they have to work with us.
The White House does plan to include a proposal first introduced by Utah Senator Mitt Romney last week. The plan would give tax credits of $3,600 for every child under the age of 6, $3,000 for kids 6 to 17. Americans who make more money would receive lower benefits. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
House Democrats are introducing a new bill today that would make child tax credits permanent. The American Family Act would provide families with monthly payments of $250 per child and $300 for children under 6. If you're looking to stay on top of the latest vaccine information, take a look at our new VNL vaccine tracker. You can access national and local resources in 2 steps. Just open your phone's camera, point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. Well, tomorrow begins the historic second impeachment trial of former President Trump, but the Senate hasn't decided on the rules.
Oftentimes we look to the north to find some of the coldest temperatures and wind chills, and no mistake tonight, 58 below in Yellowknife is mighty chilly, but we've been competing with that with overnight wind chills in the 50 to 60 below range. I'll have details on the long road of cold weather ahead coming up next.